Hi Prof, in this video, I wish to share my general sentiments towards IEX, comparing it against a community project that I've previously done before. Besides that, I also wish to briefly reflect upon the different experiences that local and overseas IEX projects offer. Overall, I would say that progress with IEX has been rather slow, and I say this in comparison to the other community projects that I've been doing before. So previously in junior college, I've actually worked with another community partner, which is CDAC, and a group of friends and I would head down to the center each week to sort of like share some knowledge outside the curriculum to those students there. And some topics we covered included cultural events that happen for different cultures, and history of how the world came about, and some maybe like dinosaurs, these kinds of interesting topics that they would not encounter in school. For that, we had more regular sessions, and because we were it was a very convenient time for us to gather as well. Therefore, the process felt more tightly packed, and the change we could see in the kids was more obvious and measurable. As compared to IEX, I guess everyone in university gets more busy and have more goals that they're working towards, with some people embarking on internships and some doing musical performances and some just busy with academics. So I think in that sense, it makes things very difficult when we try to coordinate our time to discuss things. Therefore, a lot of things or discussion tend to happen online through text only. And I think because of this, it creates some a greater amount of downtime or waiting time for each person to respond and just convey their ideas. Therefore, I would say this is one of the contributing factor as to why IEX progress was slow. But I think besides the competing commitments, another factor that contributed to slow progress was also having to liaise more with the community partner to find out what they really wanted. So the community project that I mentioned just now I did in junior college, for that it was very unidirectional, whereby we just proposed what we wanted to do, and then the center thought, okay, that's okay, and we just proceeded to do it. So there wasn't really much need for this back and forth liaison on what would best benefit the community. And I think this discussion is what really took us a lot of time, because first in summer we had to head down to just get to know the seniors and their interests, to see whether there was anything like workshops that we could facilitate to make their time at Care Corner more meaningful. But at the same time, we also had to discuss with the staff there to see whether what kind of resources or sessions we can do to address some of the needs of the seniors, as well as what the staff themselves want for the seniors. Across the 1 year I've been doing IEX, it feels as if a lot has happened, but at the same time not much has been done. This is a rather conflicting statement, I know, but I guess just a brief recap on what we have achieved so far is that during summer we really just went down for a few casual chit-chat sessions, whereby each of us rotated around the seniors who were there at Care Corner, and then just got to know them better, conversing about random topics that really came to mind at that point in time. So the purpose of that was really just to assess what the liveliness of the seniors there were like and their capacity to engage in the activities that we would be planning. And then later on in Sem 1, things really got busy, where everyone was busy with academics and other sorts of commitments like internships and musical performances. In that sense, none of us could really make the time to go down for physical visits, and we sort of hit the bottleneck of our project. I mean, without physical visits, it was difficult to get any progress in, because Claudine would be busy with the seniors during office hours, and then it would be a bit pressurizing to ask her for meetings outside of office hours, because after all, Care Corner is still her job and it's not really her all. Yeah. But I think when I compare it to other friends of mine who have done overseas projects, I'm grateful that I've actually chosen a local project, which allows me to get the interaction I need with the seniors, or our community partners so-called, more frequently than my friends do. What I heard from them is that some challenges they face is, of course, getting contact with the community partners, because sometimes, or most of the times, the digital connectivity is not that good for these community partners in the rest of Southeast Asian countries, or sometimes they are not as enthusiastic to engage in the collaborative efforts with NUSC partners. Yeah, so I think overall, being in a local project has allowed me to engage in IEX more meaningfully and regularly, even though we still have had limited sessions. Secondly, I think local IEX projects really have this advantage in truly forming a connection between the NUSC students and the community partners. I say this because the local students are able to head down to the centres physically and implement their ideas that they are proposing. This in comparison to the students who are embarking on overseas projects, where perhaps they come up with their own ideas and then they share them with the community partners for them to implement it by themselves. If I think from the perspective of those overseas community partners, I feel that this may come off as more imposing, whereby a group of foreign students are expecting me to perform what they have said. So it appears as if there's more of a savior complex coming from those students, and it's more commanding in a sense. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether a connection can really be formed between the community partners and the students in this case. In summary, even though I have faced highs and lows in this 1 year of doing IEX, I think it has also provided me with a lot of growth opportunities that I would not have otherwise gotten.